Can you hear the difference between a low quality acoustic guitar, medium quality acoustic guitar, an acoustic guitar worth thousands of dollars? Can you tell the difference? You know, the truth is that most people can't. A lot of people can't. Even experienced guitar players can't. But when you hear the instruments played next to one another, it actually makes it a lot easier to be able to hear. And that's what I'm going to do in this video here. So I'm going to give you 3 examples of instruments. And the first one, this instrument is maybe $100 or $200. It is not an expensive instrument. It is not a vintage instrument. It's just an off-the-shelf acoustic guitar that was played versus at least 50 other acoustic guitars from the same manufacturer, which all of them, all performed poorly, if not unplayable, that I would characterize it at. But this one in particular just happened to be right, that it was able to intonate, and it sounds good if I play an E major or a G. That's the hallmark of a good guitar, you know, and this one that I'm holding isn't an expensive guitar, but it's still a good guitar. You can play this guitar. The action is nice, the intonation's good. I use Elixir light gauge strings on all of my instruments, but you know, listen to this, like, this guitar really lacks in the bass, in the deep end, and the middle range is tinny. Can you hear the tinniness? Maybe not yet, but maybe let's try to climb the ladder a little bit. It sounds okay. It's a great beach guitar. Leaves a little bit to be desired in terms of sound quality. This guitar is worth a few $100s on the retail market, on the used retail market. It's a vintage instrument, 40 plus years old, laminated rosewood back and sides, a solid spruce top. It's, I think it's actually a laminated spruce top. Regardless, it sounds really nice. It is not thousands of dollars for this instrument, and it doesn't really play like an instrument that would cost thousands of dollars, but it does play pretty well. Can you hear the difference? Like when I picked the bass notes there with the first Yamaha guitar, there was nothing there. It was like nylon strings. You can hear the steel on these steel strings. Already, this guitar is very good. I would classify this as well above average as far as acoustic guitars go, but it's not very expensive. Let's climb the ladder once more. I've got a pretty wide spectrum of guitars, but I'm going to go all the way up to the guitar that I have that time and again, when experienced guitar players play my collection, every single one, bar none, has chosen this guitar. So let's just get that one going. The thing about acoustic guitars is it's not just enough to be made with the right materials. It's not just enough to be made by the right person. There's something to be said that each and every acoustic guitar is its own instrument. And so I couldn't guarantee that you would go and buy this exact make and model of Aria Dreadnought. This is the Aria Dreadnought AD 820BS. Let me make sure I got that right. It doesn't say it in there. I'm 95% sure that this is the Aria AD 820BS. I bought it because it is one of the higher models made by Aria. Aria is the largest guitar manufacturer in history, and they made everything from the lowest of the low up to including some very extremely high quality handmade instruments. And interestingly, with Aria, they didn't always advertise or make it easy for you to know when you were dealing with one of their exquisitely high quality instruments versus, yeah, just this is off the production line. And you kind of have to know what you're doing with these guitars to be able to get a good one. But when you get a good one, it is really, really good. There's so much bass and there's so much tone in the middle where the entry level one certainly, and even the middle of the road here, the W40 from Morris, it didn't have as much body. I've played this guitar against Taylors and Martins and Gibsons that cost thousands of dollars, far more than this one actually costs. This one plays better, and I have not had a single person disagree with that. I'm not saying that's a fact or law of the land. That's just this particular guitar happens to be amazing. It is what it is. These things happen. The cheap guitars have a tinniness, lack of tone in the middle, and basically no bass. The middle of the road guitars are a step up in terms of tone in the middle, and they dial back on the tinniness. It doesn't sound like a tin can anymore, but it still lacks the bass. When you get into the very highest quality guitars, you get into this full spectrum sound that there's no tinniness, there's tons of tone in the middle, and you get wonderful. I hope you found this information helpful. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. Please like and subscribe. I will deliver content to you that is unique, compelling, about guitars. I'll see you soon.